my baby fell to the floor and looked at his knee. Then, without crying, he calmly got back up on his own. He didn't look at me or wait to see if I was okay. My son is only 2 years old. He's actually very young, but he's already learned something that took me a while to figure out. Now, I'll show you exactly where that came from. My son is about to turn 2, and for the past 8 months, I've been immersed in the deepest labyrinth of my life, trying to find the answer to a single question. Why do some children manage to handle difficult situations without any trouble at all? They aren't reckless, they aren't fearless. They just have their feet firmly planted on the ground. It's as if something inside them has already understood that challenges can be overcome. I mentioned the first habit in my first video, friluftsliv. It means living in the open air, in practice. Here's how it goes. And I really want you to picture this. Scandinavian parents take their babies outside on cold winter days, even when the temperature is below freezing, to put them to sleep. They wrap their strollers tightly and let their babies sleep like this, in the garden or on the balcony. Meanwhile, they're inside, sipping their coffee, in peace. I know. We usually think about keeping them from getting cold, falling, or getting sick. This is a natural instinct for us. But the Scandinavian approach is the exact opposite. The thought of discomfort is the best exercise for the brain. However, a comprehensive review published in the journal Environmental Health Perspectives in 2018, which encompassed over 40 studies conducted across many countries, revealed something fascinating. Time spent regularly outdoors, in natural environments, during early childhood is one of the strongest predictors of emotional resilience. As a toddler navigates real physical environments, rough terrain, cold weather, uncontrollable mud, they build physical self-confidence. The brain says, I've handled challenges before, my body knows what to do. You don't need a Norwegian forest, even if it's drizzling. You need a Tuesday afternoon spent outside. We need to let them get muddy. Instead of trying to steady their balance with every stumble, fold your arms and wait. Confidence lies in stumbling, not on level ground. To be honest, there was a time when my son stepped in mud at the park and got soaked. I actually considered leaving his pants there and taking him home in just a diaper. What I'm getting at is friluftsliv is free, it's done outdoors, and it works. So, what's stopping us in this case? Okay, the second habit, and this one's going to hurt a little. I'll talk about something from 2 weeks ago. My son played with his shoes for 4 minutes, then another 6 minutes, a total of 10 minutes. I sat and watched him without intervening. I saw the expression on his face when he succeeded. I'll explain the underlying reason. Self-determination theory, one of the most frequently cited frameworks in developmental psychology, states that children have 3 basic psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. These thrive when consistently met. When they are thwarted, even with love and goodwill, something quietly diminishes. Autonomy doesn't mean doing whatever you want. It means experiencing yourself as the author of your own actions. It means truly making choices, instead of being controlled. Children raised with age-appropriate, genuine autonomy develop what researchers call an internal locus of control. They see themselves as the agents of their own lives. A meta-analysis of over 300,000 people in 2018 revealed that this is a stronger indicator of well-being than intelligence, social support, or income. Scandinavian parents let their 3-year-olds choose their own clothes. 4-year-olds are helping with dinner preparations. 5-year-olds are handling minor social conflicts without needing immediate intervention. This isn't because they don't care, it's because they know this. You need to hear the next question, because this is directly contrary to what most parenting advice calls love. This is about praise, especially the "you're so smart, so talented, so special" approach that most of us have received and most of us now give. And I'll tell you what Carol Dweck's research at Stanford found when it properly tested this. They gave children puzzles. After solving the puzzles, one group was told, "You must be really smart," and the other group was told, "You must have worked really hard." Then both groups were given a choice. Would you prefer a puzzle of the same level or a more difficult one? The smart children chose the easier puzzle, almost unanimously. The hard-working children chose the more difficult one, almost unanimously. Then the researchers gave both groups an impossible puzzle, a puzzle designed to make every child fail. And the part I think about every day as a mother is this. The smart children fell apart. They gave up trying. They enjoyed it less. And when you asked them how well they did, they reported doing worse than they actually did. And what happened when they were finally given the easier puzzles? They performed worse than they did at the very beginning of the study. Hard-working children worked harder. They tried longer. They reported enjoying the challenge. They thrived. Here's why. When you tell a child they're smart, you've tied their identity to a fixed trait. Now every task is a test of that identity. Struggling might mean they aren't actually smart. And a child who fears this discovery will always choose the safe path. Scandinavian parenting does something different. Instead of global judgments, "You're amazing, you're smart," Scandinavian parents tend to be honest. What they actually observed was, "I noticed you kept trying even when it was difficult. You figured that out yourself. You didn't stop. When my son finished that puzzle last week, I didn't say, 'How smart you are.' You kept going even when the pieces didn't fit," I said. His face wasn't the proud face of someone receiving approval. It was the satisfied face of someone who had realized something true about themselves. These are different faces, and they turn into very different adults. You've heard of hygge. You've seen it on the covers of lifestyle magazines, marketed as a candle aesthetic, a winter vibe, and a decorating personality. Erase all that from your mind, because what hygge actually is, as a daily practice with a young child, might be the most powerful nervous system tool in this video. Hygge isn't candles. Hygge is a relational practice. It's the deliberate and regular creation of an environment where the people within it, including children, feel completely safe being exactly as they are. There's no performance and no agenda. All that's asked of you right now is to be there. For a child's developing brain, this is no small thing. This is neuroscience. We've reached the halfway point of the 7 habits. The real question is which of these, spending time outdoors, autonomy, honest praise, hygge, were present in your childhood? Write in the comments. There are 3 more habits. And the 5th habit might surprise you the most. In Scandinavia, there's a cultural code called janteloven, the law of jante. Basically, it says, don't think you're better than us, don't think you're special. Critics say it suppresses ambition. They're right, but the point nobody mentions is this. In cultures where being special is the goal, where mediocrity is something to be avoided, children learn that their value is conditional, to be the best, to be the most talented, to be the most admired. And this creates a certain vulnerability. There's always someone better. A child raised needing to be special will always, deep down, fear being ordinary. Scandinavian culture gives children a different message. Your value isn't about being better than others. You were good enough before your child did something impressive. Even if he fails at the impressive thing he's trying to do, it will still be enough. Scandinavian sleep isn't about hours. Scandinavian children actually sleep a little less than those in some other countries. So, it's not about the duration. It's about the consistency of the ritual. Sleep is when the brain consolidates everything learned that day. But this process only works when the nervous system is truly calm at the onset of sleep. A child's brain works differently when their body knows through hundreds of repetitions that this is safe, that they can let go. But honestly, the bedtime ritual isn't really about sleep. It's about the message given at the most vulnerable moment of the day, just before a child surrenders to the darkness. I'm here. This is safe. You can let go. A child who receives this message reliably, in the same way, every night for years, has been told thousands of times that the world will protect them when they let go of it. It's not just a bedtime ritual, it's the foundation of trust. Let's move on to the last habit. And this has changed something specific in the way I talk to my son. In Denmark, there's a school lesson called Klassens Tid, class time, where students come together and talk about their real feelings. How are you feeling today? What happened? At home, when a Danish child is upset, the parent doesn't say, "You're okay," or "Stop crying." They sit down at the child's level and say, "I see you're really upset. Tell me what happened." Researcher John Gottman studied thousands of families for years. Children whose parents did this emotional coaching showed much better results in emotional regulation, better academic outcomes, and stronger relationships, because a child whose feelings are consistently named and acknowledged learns. My inner experience is real and surmountable. Being upset doesn't mean being broken. Being scared doesn't mean being weak. Last Tuesday, my son fell and started crying. My instinct was, "You're okay, come on." But I stopped. I sat down. It hurt. I saw it hurt. "Tell me where it was," I said. He stopped crying, faster than ever, because it no longer evoked that feeling. That feeling was visible within him. Self-confidence isn't something given to a child by telling them how great they are. It's something built by thousands of ordinary moments. They all lean in the same direction. I can't give my son everything. I might get it wrong. I might rush his shoes, say "you're fine" when I should be sitting down, or miss the moment he needs me most. Before I go, write your true answer in the comments. Which of these 7 were you as a child, and which one you didn't live through enough shaped the self-confidence you're still building today? I'm reading each one. If this resonated with you, share it with someone, not for the algorithm, because there might be a parent in your life who needs to hear that they're already doing so much more without realizing it. Subscribe if you want more. My son will fall many more times until he's finished growing up, from stairs, from bikes, and from friendships. I can't stop any of that. I shouldn't have to stop it anyway. All I can do is, every ordinary Tuesday, make sure there's already an answer waiting deep within my nervous system. That's all there is to it. See you in the next video.